Everyone. Today we will do another past paper question of October-November 2006, paper variant 03, IGCSE past paper questions of financial statements of a sole trader. You will find this question in the video number 4. Okay, let's see what are we supposed to do. We are supposed to prepare a trading and profit and loss account of Salim Ahmed for the year ended 31st July 2006. Before I prepare the trading and profit and loss account, or before even I read the question, I know that when I'm asked to prepare a trading and profit and loss account, I follow the format. What is the format? Sales minus sales return. Sales less sales return will give me revenue. Then you would subtract the cost of sales. Cost of sales is made up of parts, 3 parts. The main 3 parts comes in the second column. First, you have the opening inventory. Next, you have the purchases. Then you have a lot of adjustment in the purchases, like you have the opening inventory. Then you have purchases. Purchases, you have a lot of adjustment in the purchases. And then you have the closing inventory. Opening inventory at purchases minus closing inventory would give you the gross profit. After that, you would add a certain income. You would add certain income and you would subtract certain expenses. Less expenses would give you the net profit for the year. This is the normal format of our trading and profit and loss account. The trading section stops at gross profit. The profit and loss section, in the gross profit, when you add the income, you would subtract the expenses, you would get the profit for the year. We are doing this with adjustments. We are doing this question with adjustments. Since this is the first question with adjustments, let's proceed and how do we go about it. We only need to prepare a trading and profit and loss account. Balance sheet is not required. So we will not prepare the balance sheet. Capital goes in the balance sheet liability side. At present, I don't need it. The drawings in the trial balance comes in the balance sheet. It is subtracted from capital. It is adjusted in the capital. Premises at cost, it is a non-current asset. Fixtures at valuation, it is a non-current asset. Equipment is a non-current assets. Provision for depreciation, it is adjusted in the non-current assets second column. But in this, you will also add the current year's depreciation. Provision for doubtful debts, the one in the trial balance that is given, it is always the old provision. It is ignored at present. It is ignored at present, but after seeing the adjustments, we decide what to do. After seeing adjustments, we decide what to do. Debtors is a current asset. Bad debts recovered is an income. Okay, bad debts recovered is an income. Then I have my creditors, which is a current liability. Bank is a current asset. Inventory in the trial balance is always the opening inventory. It is always the opening inventory. This is my sales. In the from the sales, I would minus the sales return. That would give me my revenue. Purchases is purchases. Carriage outward is an expense. Discount allowed is an expense. Discount received is an income. Administrative expense is an expense. After marking all of this, you go to the adjustments. Now we proceed to the adjustments. During the year ended 31st July, Salim took goods costing 1260 for own use. Own use is drawings. The drawings in the trial balance has only one effect and it is adjusted in capital. But the drawings in the adjustment has two effects. One, it is adjusted in cost of sales. Second, it is added to the drawings of the trial balance. So the first adjustment I have to adjust in cost of sales, and second I will add over here in the trial balance, add 1260. Provision for doubtful debts is to be maintained at 2% of debtors. Now remember, this is your new provisions. Before making your new provisions, always subtract the new bad debts from your trade receivables. Where is your trade receivables? I see over here. Now tell me, answer a few questions. What is the new provision made on? You create 2% as provision for doubtful debts. You create this 2% on what? You create this 2% on debtors. Tell me, what is your debtors? My debtors is 9,000. I need to create a new provision for doubtful debts at the rate of 2%. What is 2% of 9,000? 2% of 9,000 is 180. I create the 2% of 9,000. I create the 2% of 9,000 as 180. This is the new provision for doubtful debts, and 9,000 minus 180 will give me 8820. This is the amount that will be shown in my balance sheet. So in the debtors, I am minusing 180 as the new provision for doubtful debts. The second step that I do is I compare. What do I compare? I compare my old provisions with the new provisions. What is my old provision? My old provision for doubtful debts is 130. That means initially I thought that 130 worth debtors would not pay me and I need to keep aside $130. My new provision for doubtful debts was 2%. Now I think debtors worth $180 will not pay me and I need to keep aside $180. That means there is an increase in the provision. It means there is an increase in provision. Increase in the provision for doubtful debts. By how much? By $50. It is a loss for me. It is a loss for me and it will be shown in expense. We repeat again. The provision for doubtful debts in the trial balance. Provision for doubtful debts in the trial balance is ignored temporarily. Whenever you have an adjustment for new provisions, create a new provision on the debtors. Old provisions you will compare with the new provisions. If there is an increase in the provision, it is a loss for you and the loss is for $50, which will be shown as an expense. So the second effect of this provision for doubtful debts is only the increase or decrease has to be recorded. Only increase or decrease has to be recorded and the entire new provision will be subtracted from debtors. Two effects. Third adjustment is for depreciation. Depreciation 10% using reducing balance method. Depreciation 10% using reducing balance method. Now if I see what is reducing balance method, reducing balance method is costs minus the depreciation to date, which will give me the net book value. Cost minus provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation, which appears in the trial balance, will give me the net book value. And when I am depreciating using the reducing balance method, that means I will depreciate on net book value. What is the cost of my equipment? Cost of my equipment is 5,000. What is the depreciation in the trial balance? Accumulated depreciation, that is 950. From the cost, when you subtract the accumulated depreciation, you get a net book value of 4050. Now you have to find the current year depreciation. Now you will have to find the current year depreciation, which is at the rate of 10%. It is on the reducing balance method. That means it will be calculated on the reduced value. 405 will be the current year depreciation. 4050. 405 is the current year depreciation. Two effects of the current year depreciation. You will add in the provision for depreciation in your trial balance, and the effect will go in the second column, 405. Second effect is add in trial balance. Second effect is show as expense. So the two effects is, one, I will add in the second column. Second effect is show as an expense. So I will write one expense, depreciation on equipment. This is the current year depreciation on equipment, which I will show as expense, which is 405. So that I do not forget, I record it over here. Either you record over here or you write it as an expense directly. So I'm writing all the expenses that I have. Depreciation on equipment. One is 405 that I got from adjustment. Second thing that I got from adjustment was the increase in the provision for doubtful debts. Increase in provision for doubtful debts, which was how much? 50. So these are the things that I got from the adjustment. Now let's move ahead. Let's move to the third adjustment. Fixtures were valued at 7250. That means fixtures are depreciated using revaluation method. It means fixtures are depreciated using revaluation method. When I'm using the revaluation method, that means this is the valuation at end. Fixtures are valued at 7250. So since fixtures closing value is given, the opening value would be given over here, and it is given fixtures at valuation 7,800. That means the opening value of fixtures is given to me, which is 7,800. No fixtures were bought or sold during the year. You have no fixtures that you have bought or sold during the year. So you have opening value of fixtures 7,800. You have closing value of fixtures, how much? Closing value of fixtures, which is 7,250. I have opening value of fixtures 7,800. I have closing value of fixtures 7,250. That means I can find the depreciation of fixtures for the current year. depreciation for fixtures for the current year. How much? It will be the difference 7,800 minus 7,250. So 550 is the depreciation for fixtures in the current year. 550 will come in the second column balance sheet. This is the first effect. And second effect of this 550 show as an expense. Depreciation of the current year is always shown as an expense. So the third expense that I have is depreciation of fixtures. How much? It is 550. These are the expense that I'm getting from the adjustments. These are the expenses that I'm getting from the adjustments. Move ahead. Because of illness, Salim was unable to value stock. He was not able to value the stock. He was unable to value the stock. Then he said the margin is 25%. You know that margin is on sales. Margin on sales. Markup on costs. So I have the sales figure. So closing stock is margin 25%. So closing stock is 25% on sales. 25% on the sales. What is my sales? On sales, I will take the net sales. That is 1/4. That is 1/4 on sales. What is my sales? I will take the net sales. Net sales, that means sales minus the sales return. 89,500 is the sales. Sales return is 1,100. So 1/4 of sales 89,500 minus the sales return 1,100. So it is 1/4 of 89,500 minus 1,100. 88,400. 88,400. 1/4 of 88,400. So I will get my closing inventory as 22,100. This is the closing stock. Closing stock, two places, one in current asset and one in cost of sales. Okay, now keeping in mind, let's start solving this sum. Okay, I will just crop this sum as much as we need to prepare our trading and profit and loss account. I'm cropping it. Please see, we don't need the capital, we don't need the drawings, we don't need the premises, we don't need fixtures, we don't need equipments, we don't need provision for doubtful debts. Depreciation. I do not need provision for doubtful debts, I don't need debtors. Now I will start recording what I have. I am preparing the trading and profit and loss section. I will record this bad debts recovered, which is an income. Let's see if you have any other income. I have one more income, that is discount received. Two incomes, so record in the second column. Bad debts recovered 170. Discount received 610. I'll also write the administrative expenses. How much? It is 21,215. Okay. There is no other income. I will add this both and I will write in the outer column 170 plus 610. This is giving me 780. There is no other income. Let's crop the sum again. Bad debts recovered is done. Creditors I don't need. Bank I don't need. Opening inventory. It is 10,216. I will crop the remaining two from down also. Okay. I have opening inventory as 10,260. Second column directly 10,260. I have sales 89,500. Sales minus sales return 1,100 will give me my revenue. 89,500 minus 1,100 is giving me my revenue of 88,400. Opening inventory recorded, sales recorded, purchases, there is no adjustment in purchases. Okay, but I had seen goods for own use. Let's see the adjustments now. Let's look at the adjustments. I had seen that there was goods for own use that is adjusted in the cost of sales 1260. Cost of sales, it is subtracted from purchases. It is subtracted from purchases. What is my purchases? My purchases is 65,700 less goods for own use 1260. This will give me my net purchases since there are no purchase return. 65,700 minus 1260. It gives me 64,440. Opening inventory and purchases come up at a figure 74,700 less the closing inventory, closing stock. This I found out as a working note, so I will write as working note number 1. And I had found out this over here. Closing stock was given as a margin to me. 22,100. This will give me my cost of sales. Opening inventory, add the purchases, come at a figure, minus the closing inventory. 74,700 minus 22,100 will give you 52,600 as your cost of sales. Revenue less cost of sales will give you the gross profit. So minus and get the answer. Minus and get the answer. I'm getting an answer of 35,800. This is nothing but my gross profit. Okay, this is nothing but my gross profit. Check with the figures. Your opening inventory is 10,260. Purchases was 65,700, 64,400. And closing stock. Closing inventory is how much? Now this is my gross profit. Now I will record all the expenses that I have. Keep cropping. Purchase is done, sales return done. I have two other expenses. One is carriage outward and one is discount allowed. Carriage outward is 210. Discount allowed is 600. And plus, I had made a list of all the expenses which was there and I need to consider. So this I will record over here. It is 405, 50 and 550. I had recorded it at one place so that it becomes easier. Add all the expenses together and this expenses you will put over here. This you need to put in brackets because you're going to minus it. Come on, add all the expenses that you have. Add all the expenses that you have. It would be 21,215. You can add these both and come at a figure also over here. 35,800 plus 780 gives you 36,580. Now add all the expenses and come up at a figure. Let's see, 21,215. Add 210. Add 600. Add 405. Add 50. Add 550. You come up at a figure of 23,030. This you will subtract from this. Okay, you will get your net profit or net loss. 23,030 minus 36,580. It is giving you a profit of 13,550. Now, if I see over here, while I was reading and scrolling through, this was gross profit margin. That means it said that the gross profit is 25% on sales. So 22,100 was the figure of my gross profit. 22,100 was the figure of my gross profit. It was not the figure of my closing stock. So 22,100 was the figure of my gross profit. Now I want to arrive at the closing stock. Okay, I want to arrive at the closing stock. So revenue less cost of sales will give you the gross profit. Just go reverse and find out what will be your cost of sales. 88,400 minus 22,100. Your cost of sales is 66,300. Now what is your closing inventory? Again reverse, minus it. Okay, since this minus this gives you this, okay, so minus the two figures, you will get the closing inventory 74,700. So your closing inventory is 8,400. So what was the mistake that we did was, we had gross profit margin as 25% and we assumed that closing stock was 25% on sales. So the gross profit is 25% on sales. You find this first, then you find the cost of sales, and then you arrive at the closing stock. Then you arrive at the closing stock. Now because of this, these figures would change. Let's see. 22,100 plus 780 gives you 22,880 minus 23,030 will give you 150, which is not a profit, which is loss. I purposely did this mistake because this is a common mistake which is done by everyone. Okay, you need to understand, you need to read the question properly, and you need to arrive at the figure, proper figure in proper way. With this, I complete the sum. Okay, we did not prepare the balance sheet because we were asked to prepare only the trading and profit and loss account. So we prepared only the trading and profit and loss account. This is the video 4. In our video 5, I will proceed with the next question. We'll proceed with the next question of Gorman Limited. In our video 5, I will proceed with the next question of Gorman Limited, which is again a past paper question of May-June 03, paper 2. But this time we are going to do with adjustments. Thank you so much. If you really like the video and you're understanding, please post a comment and let me know.